It's the Illegal Elbow Show. Illegal Elbow Show, Episode 9, ladies and gentlemen. Brought to you by UFC's ranking list. Like I said earlier, pound for pound list is pretty good, I guess. You know, the thing I thought was the funniest was Gilbert Melendez is #1 contender. Ha! Ben Henderson versus Gilbert Melendez. Come on, man. Seriously? Come on, man. Gilbert Melendez could barely get Josh Thompson out of the way. What's he going to do with Ben Henderson? Come on, man. Come on. Really? Come on! Some of these lists are fucking funny. You know, they've been talking about this for, you know, here and there or whatever, and Joe Lozon, #9, right behind Rafael Dos Anjos. You know, TJ Grant, #7, which TJ Grant just had a really good fight. Donald Cerrone, #6. I like it, you know. Jim Miller, 5. Nate Diaz, 4. You know what I mean? It's actually pretty good. For, you know, in terms of lightweight, it's pretty good. But one thing I noticed is the heavyweight listing is pretty fucking close on to my listing. My listing was out a long time before this one. So what they have is #10, Shane Carwin, which I had Shane Carwin way up more the list, you know, way up higher on the list. But recently he's fallen down because of inactivity. Because, I mean, man, Shane Carwin fights once a year if we're lucky. You know, Stefan Struve, #9. Roy Nelson, #8. Antonio Rodrigo Nogueira, #7. Alistair Overeem, #6. I don't have Alistair Overeem in that same spot, but, you know what? Not too far off. Frank Mir, #5. Antonio Silva, #4. Daniel Cormier, #3. Fabricio Verdum, #2. Junior Dos Santos, #1. It's actually really not that far off from my list. So whoever's doing these lists, it's really not too far off from my criteria. My criteria is basically your last 5 fights, quality of opponents, and your activity. Who's the last 5 guys you fought? You can't be a badass and be really high on a list if you fought a bunch of nobodies. Just plain and simple. Quality of opponents, right there, kind of rings in with the last 5 fights. Your last 2-3 fights, you know, who you been fighting. You gotta be facing quality of opponents here. Activity, you fight once a year. What the fuck, man? What are you on the list for? You know what I mean? You're an active fighter. You're not an active fighter. You know, once a year fighters are okay. You know, I mean, it's okay. You go more than that. I mean, you fight every once a year and a half or every 2 years or something like that. What's the point of showing up? Just no point in it, man. It doesn't make any fucking sense. But my top 10 right now, I'm gonna point this out so we can see it. My top 10 right now, it's actually a lot closer than I thought to the UFC's. And I put this shit all up there before they even announced their ranking system. So, just, you know, I'm the greatest. No, I'm kidding. It's exactly what I'm not saying. I'm just saying, no, I base it on one specific criteria, you know, and it's just three points. You know, that's last 5 fights, quality of opponent, and activity. I mean, it's pretty fucking simple, man. It's what it should be. And here we got Antonio Rodrigo Nogueira, #10. Josh Barnett, #9. UFC's not going to like that very much because they didn't sign him. #8, Antonio Silva. You know, granted, he was lower before, found his way up the list a little bit. You know, I thought there was a little bit of a question about what spot he was in beforehand. I didn't want to give him too high of a spot because I thought it was kind of a question in competition there. So, #7, Alistair Overeem, 4-1 in his last 5, beat Lesnar, Harry. You know, there was a big question in competition. He beat Verdum. That's one of the biggest names he beat. You know, obviously Brock Lesnar too, but I'm sorry, Brock Lesnar was 5-3 or whatever, 5-2 or whatever the hell it was. I didn't pay that much attention to it because, sorry, Brock Lesnar is not a real fighter. Brock Lesnar is a entertaining wrestler, and that's it. Whatever the gut problem was, whatever it was, you know, that's fine. That's all happy and dandy and fantastic. I'm not going to make any excuses for the guy. I'm not making any excuses for anybody else. Why would I do it for him? So, Overeem kicked the living shit out of him. And then Silva came in, kicked the living shit out of Overeem. So, Overeem looked like he maybe was possibly on roids or something like that for his last 700 fights. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm just being funny, but it's not very funny. Overeem did not look like he was. He didn't look like he was into the fight. He looked like he was on something in the past where he really had good luck. But at the same time, I do want to throw in one little thing. Alistair Overeem has not faced the competition that he's faced or will face in the UFC before. You know, when they had him in Strikeforce and everything, he was facing guys that he should have beat. So I mean, Alistair Overeem getting into UFC is probably going to do just that. It's probably pretty much going to ruin his career if he wants to continue with the PEDs, TRTs, grilled cheese, whatever he wants to do. It's just the way it is, man. I mean, you want to keep doing that shit and ruin your career, that's up to you, but the competition's so fierce, I don't think he's going to win either way. So, if he comes out not on PEDs or whatever, and Antonio Silva kicks your ass, you know, Antonio Silva's not been, I'm not ragging on the guy, but he's not been on the radar as a fucking top 5, top 10 for very long. And when he beat Fedor, Fedor was not on the radar either. Fedor was not doing that amazing either. He had already suffered under one loss. So, I mean, him beating Fedor was not like, telltale amazing feat. It was damn great. It was awesome. It was kick-ass. It was good for his name. He had already been beat at that point. At that point, I think Fedor Emelianenko was ready for retirement anyway, you know. Maybe the line's a little finer than we thought, you know. I mean, when you're ready to retire, you're ready to fucking retire, man. Get the fuck out of there, man, you know. Stefan Struve, number 6. Not sure what UFC's ranking is, but we'll take a look at it real quick here. Stefan Struve, number 9. They got him number 9, I got him number 6. I think in terms of competition and stuff like that, Stefan Struve ranks a little higher, personally. So Frank Mir, number 5. I got Frank Mir, number 5 too. It's pretty damn close so far, man. We're inching right up here. You know, my top 10 and their top 10, it's pretty damn close, man. It's actually kind of cool to see that my criteria kind of jives with UFC's. You know what I mean? So it's pretty simple, people, man. You know, what are you doing, and what are you doing right now, and how often are you doing it? It's pretty much what it is. If somebody wants to come out and say, I'm the best, I'm the baddest, but I haven't fought in 2 years, I'm sorry, dude, you're not the best, you're not the baddest. Hey, man, I fought Larry Rodriguez from Louisiana County. Who the fuck is that? Nobody knows who that guy is. Then he's not the best of the baddest. He hasn't fought the best of the baddest. He ain't fucking dick. He ain't shit. He ain't fighting anybody. You gotta base it on something, man. It's gotta be based on some kind of criteria, man. That's it. Number 4, Antonio Silva, illegalelbow.com. That's why I love it. Anytime there's any, like when, what was it, UFC, whatever it was, man, when it was all heavyweight card. Mark Hunt was going to be there. Mark Hunt got injured or some shit, but it was all heavyweight card. It wasn't 106, but I don't remember what card it was, but I was fucking beside myself because I'm like, this is going to be awesome. It's going to be a huge impact on my listing. It came out to a totally different card, you know, but at the same time, it was still a badass card. Still had a nice impact too on my listing as well. But number 4, Fabricio Verdum on my list. Fabricio Verdum number 4. Fabricio Verdum number 2. UFC sees Fabricio Verdum more ahead than I thought he was, which I'm fucking shocked because Fabricio Verdum is not going to be in the cage again until June against Big Nog. Excuse me, Eggnog. Don't get me wrong, man. Eggnog is good. You know, my buddy, everybody Aftermath on Facebook might say, you know, hey, man, this he's 2 hits away from a drool cup. He said it years ago in a show that we were doing on Blog Talk, but I thought it was funny, man. Fabricio Verdum that came out and fought Roy and did the other fight that he did. Who the fuck was the other fight? Dave Herman? Fucking fuck them guys up, man, to no end. I'm really shocked, though. I'm really fucking shocked that UFC has Daniel Cormier at number 3, which UFC right now is loving all over his fucking balls. And then they got number 2, Fabricio Verdum. Verdum, they just re-signed, and he's fought like, what, 2 or 3 times. I don't even think 3 times. Daniel Cormier, they're just getting in there, just getting into promotion. And he's right behind a guy that they've had for a little while. Whatever, but... Oh, I just thought it was fucking silly. I just think they're really, loving on Verdum right now. In my opinion, I got Verdum number 4. And I'm not hating on the guy. I want to see him at number 2. But UFC's sucking his cock a little more than anybody else is, really. You know what I mean? I got Cormier at number 3 over Verdum. Because of the, it's very close, too. I mean, they could probably shift easily. Some kind of crazy win or loss or whatever could make any kind of a weird change. You know what I mean? I got Cain Velasquez still being number 2. Junior Dos Santos being number 1. And the reason why I have it that way is because I think Junior Dos Santos, on his way up, on his undefeated way up, he's faced tougher competition than Cain has faced. And they're both at 4-1. In their last 5 fights, they're both at 4-1. Junior Dos Santos has had wins over Velasquez, Carwin, Gonzaga, Nelson, Krokop, Ivel, Mir, lost to Velasquez. Cain Velasquez, 4-1 in his last 5. Wins over Dos Santos, Lesnar, Antonio Rodrigo Nogueira, Congo, Rothwell, Stonich, Silva, lost to Dos Santos. I mean, really, if you look at the comparison to the names that Junior Dos Santos has beat, and the names that Cain Velasquez has beat, Krokop, Nelson, Gonzaga, Carwin, versus Big Nog, Congo, Rothwell, Stonich, and Silva. In my criteria, Cain is still number 2. They beat each other. If it was all based on who's the champion and who's this guy, no, that's not what it's based on. Basically, your last 5 fights, quality of opponent, your activity. That's it, man. That's it. It's not who's the fucking champion. Because, champion could come in here and get a shot, he could be the fucking the top 5 guy and get some kind of stupid shot just because nobody else has that shot. And he comes in and gets the belt. Well, just because you're the champion, dude, doesn't make you the best in the game. It's my way of looking at it. And, the funny thing is, UFC's fucking whole game, whole ranking system with the heavyweights they have, pretty fucking close to what I got. So, I actually think it's pretty hilarious, really. But you saw it here first. Because I had this ranking system fucking well over a year ago. UFC can kiss my ass. I had this shit a long time ago. BAM! It's the Illegal Elbow Show!